This is happening.
Yes, it is. It's happening. Even we were
Yes.
supposed to make separate episodes for each of these shows and then review them as a whole at the end of the week. But the person who was
Life
recording,
gets in the way.
yeah, the person recording it last time has had some issues, so I've taken the initiative and took multiple hours to figure out how to get OBS working and recording it myself.
So welcome back to the the Black Heart
Blah,
Wrestling
blah.
Podcast. We are your hosts for this evening. We have
Yes.
me, Biam Soper,
And me, Kalikid.
and we will be discussing everything from this previous week, which is Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and
Dynamite.
AEW Dynamite. There
Yes.
is a decent amount to talk about.
Yeah. But
So,
hopefully it shouldn't be too long since it's only the two of us. Jordan did say in chat that
yeah.
he'll join, though. So,
Yeah, so we might have some few people joining in halfway through. You never know, but
yeah.
we'll see where this goes.
So, wait,
So we
what
will
was
just
the
start with
Raw?
we'll start with Raw. So
Was it
we made the introduction
Sheamus?
while Raw was happening. So you had Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the United States #1 contendership.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that it was one of my favorite matches, to be honest.
No, really wasn't. But, like, it wasn't a bad match by any means.
Yeah, but like Sheamus won, he's gonna get a run back for fucking Damian Priest.
I mean, why didn't they just
But
give him the rematch to begin with? Because doesn't he have, like, the champions thing where they automatically
rematch
get a
clause.
rematch? Wait, what happened?
I think he used that, and then Drew McIntyre got added to it, bloody
Oh.
last week.
And then he
But
beat him on Raw this week to get the #1 contendership back. So they're probably gonna have a match at Extreme Rules for the U.S. title.
yeah, which I'm fine with because you will
Yeah.
find very quickly, and I said this in the last episode, I love Damian Priest. Damian Priest has the body, the gimmick, the fucking work ethic, and
Yeah.
really good on the mic. I can see him as a future WWE champion.
Yeah.
But
He's still very young though, so that's a while down the road.
yeah, but it's just like
And even you said
it's
like
good. It was a good match.
not a lot of build behind it, obviously.
Yeah,
But
because like
it's
it, from what I heard from other people, they said it's not as good as the last week triple threat match because apparently that was phenomenal. This is just a standard match between someone of the likes of Sheamus and Joe McIntyre. So obviously they can work well together, but it's nothing to praise.
right. It's not like a 5-star classic thing, which it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
Even though I would say
The analyst on this website said it, as Big E would say, it's just two meaty men slapping meat together.
two meaty men slapping meat together. I mean,
Two meaty men.
it's
slapping
not wrong.
meat.
It's not a wrong description. So Sheamus wins that
Definitely
match.
not.
I mean, even you said when
Yeah.
Damian Priest won the U.S. title was like the second or best moment of that SummerSlam besides Brock coming back.
Yeah, because like Damian Priest, like you said, like he's very, very young, but he's also a really good worker. And
Right.
the fact that we got to see him like the one of the first reasons, like if you're not a active watcher of like NXT or something, the first time he got introduced to Damian Priest was his match at WrestleMania, one of the main matches, and he killed it. He's a really good worker.
Yeah.
So seeing him in the kind of match with Sheamus with a decent build with the whole mask thing, it worked really well for him. So if he can go and pull that off with like Sheamus again and then more people, it will be a phenomenal US run.
Yeah. And it's also, I don't think anyone was really expecting him to win the title at SummerSlam because recently you haven't been seeing guys who are like, he's in his 20s, isn't he? Like late
I can check
20s?
that.
Because if he is, like, you don't
Yeah.
usually see guys in their 20s get like a title run. Unless it's
You can
someone
see the
like,
younger guys getting up there.
yeah, you don't usually see, even like for a US title, you usually don't see that.
No, Damian Priest's age, he's 38.
Oh,
He
wow.
just never started wrestling up to that point.
Huh. So he's.
Dude, he looks young for 38.
I know, for fuck's sake. I want to age well. Like Damian Priest.
No, I think he only started wrestling about 6 or 7 years ago.
Still, that's pretty strange that like Vince was like, "Oh, give the title to this guy who hasn't wrestled that long and is younger."
Yeah, it's weird.
Hello, Jordan.
Hello.
Hello. We were just
Hello.
discussing. We're
We were
starting to discuss
discussing
Raw. The first match being
McIntyre
stuff
versus
like
Sheamus.
Sheamus and McIntyre, and the whole thing with like Damian Priest as the United States champion. Which,
Yeah,
I think
as you
Damian Priest
know,
is gonna be one of the best.
yeah, I believe if you put
definitely,
him with anyone, it's going to be a great match.
definitely.
Mhm.
I
I
wonder.
think Priest will be the best U.S. champion we have in the last 6 years.
Well, keep in mind, other than Sheamus, who has been like the last handful of US champions, you had Riddle's run before it got squashed by Sheamus at WrestleMania.
Right.
Who was
What's up with Sheamus?
Ricochet
Like,
held it? No, that was years ago. Because no, so Sheamus is the whole like backyard brawler kind of thing, like alleyway bloody. Oh, I'm gonna fight you, mate, kind of
did
thing.
did Sheamus bring back his old theme finally? Or no?
No, and I wish he did.
His old theme is so good.
I wish
it fits
he
him
did,
so
honestly.
well. I want them to bring it back.
Monster head.
Because I saw a video, I guess it was an
Yeah.
edit. It was like a really good edit, I guess, of someone
Oh.
putting his old theme over his entrance today, and I was like, ooh, he finally came back with it.
Did you guys
No,
talk
I
about
feel
the
like
tag turmoil? Sorry.
If he's gonna bring back that theme, he's gonna bring back like a similar to his olden day Titantron and stuff.
Right.
Like he's gonna have a complete gimmick change if he's gonna bring back that
Yeah.
entrance theme.
Definitely.
But people will be happy. Definitely be happy.
Yeah, because people actually liked. Most people I knew liked Sheamus at that time, like the run that he had.
Well, remember that at that time he held the WWE Championship twice.
And also beat John Cena
And
for
he
it
was,
when
like,
everyone
a
was like, boo
genuine-
Cena.
Yeah. He was a genuine threat.
And then.
Now he's a mid-carder.
I know. And he could still be a main eventer if they just used him well. Because I don't
The
think.
last time they tried to make him a main eventer was when he cashed in on Roman back then.
Which. They didn't really build him up towards that. I think everyone forgot he even had Money in the Bank at that time. Like I did.
Who, Corbin or
Sheamus.
Oh. We don't like to talk about Corbin's Money in the Bank run. No, Sheamus when he cashed in on Roman when he won the championship for the first time.
Sheamus? All I remember is the T-shirt.
Yeah, the
one with
T-shirt
the
was
boo
good,
on
but
it.
you never remembered he actually had the title.
Yeah, and then he aligned with Triple H and stuff.
No, he aligned with Alberto Russo.
No, he created like the League of Nations. Yeah.
To protect him,
Yeah.
but then they stayed around even though he lost the title and it was bloody meaningless. Anyway, we've rambled on too much about this.
Yeah,
We're going
this is
to
the first
next
match
match,
of
which was
4 shows.
Nikki and Rhea versus the Natalia and Tamina, which
Wait, I have a
I'm
question.
yes.
Did you guys talk about the tag tomorrow?
No, we haven't
No,
talked about that
we're
yet.
going down this list.
We're going like from
We'll
top
get
to
to
bottom.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nikki and Rhea make a really good team because, like, to me, like Rhea Ripley, being a fellow Australian, love that. She's very hard hitting and she's a very, very technician based wrestler. So when you tag that up with someone like Nikki, who is a very like striking and high flyer, they made like a good thing. It was an enjoyable women's match, which is very hard to come around nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also
I,
that freaking thing where like Nikki jumped into Rhea's
I-
arms after the match.
I don't remember a
That
lot
was
from the
funny.
match, but I do remember that like she jumped into her arms to like hug her after the match.
Yeah. Like Nikki right now is really like reminding me of like Bailey when she jumped into the main roster. Like a very likable person,
Yeah. Just enjoyable.
gimmick wise, which is good.
Like just
Yeah.
a good baby face.
Like it's also good that people are starting to accept her gimmick now as ASH instead of going, "Oh, it's bloody stupid. Why the hell are you doing that?" It's more like, okay, this is working for her, and she's making it her own unique thing.
She's starting to get
works.
over with it, which is good to see.
Yeah, and
Because they need to get more
Natalia
faces on
Tamina.
Raw.
Yeah, Natalia and Tamina. That's just your
know.
women's champions being wasted. What else is new?
I mean, that's just Natalia and WWE in general.
Oh, so true. So true.
Staff and Talia, she could have been better somewhat, but after a
Literally
while, she
related
got
to
really
Bret
boring
Hart.
as a person.
No, because she's never changed a
Yeah.
gimmick once.
I mean, she doesn't have to because they never give her anything to do.
Because
Like,
what's his face? Like, how many times she's in contestant with Big Show? With how many times she's turned fucking heel or face?
what was isn't Big Show's number like 21
Has Charlotte
times?
ever-
Ugh.
Yeah, I think that's what the count is. Has Charlotte ever been a heel?
Charlotte's been heel and face multiple
Oh,
times.
heel. Sorry, I meant face.
When was Charlotte
Yeah.
face? Oh, in NXT probably.
Charlotte was a face when she was in
For-
NXT and
for
when she was
Horsewomen.
teaming with Becky.
Oh yeah.
See, that's how forgettable she is as a face. Because she's that good of a heel.
Well, I mean, it's just
Well,
no. I
what's her
think
name?
it's
But
more
when she
because
is a heel,
I think it's more because like she's just been shoved down her throat so much recently, like
Yeah.
Charlotte. So like,
well,
I
no,
kinda
not
forget.
recently. Her entire fucking career.
Yeah, Charlotte's the example is like the far end of what Natalia could have been, related to an extremely popular wrestler, and then got pushed to the moon.
Yeah. And I
Charlotte's
understand why they're pushing Charlotte so much now is because they're trying to keep her in WWE. Because keep in mind that her father and her soon-to-be freaking husband are in AEW right now.
Wait, who's gonna be her husband now?
Andrade,
Oh,
soon to
fuck!
be.
Is she
Okay.
gonna leave?
That's why they're pushing her to the freaking moon, like
So
more
they-
so
so she
than
doesn't-
normal. Because normally, so she doesn't leave.
Or they just pull a screw job and make her drop the title.
Oh god.
It'd get clicks.
I don't think they
it'd
want to
give a
do
shit.
that after how much controversy.
The last
I
one,
feel
the last
bad
screw
for
job.
Tamina. Like,
Oh yeah,
Some of the-
Tamina.
Here's
yeah.
my opinion about
woman
Tamina.
that deserves the best is Tamina.
Okay, my opinion about Tamina is the only reason she's on the roster is because she's related to Jimmy Snuka, but they won't give her a real push because she's related to Jimmy Snuka because of what he did. Jimmy
Yeah,
Snuka is both her
probably-
downfall and her upcomings.
Yeah.
To be honest, she could have been an interesting women's champion if they give it to her, like,
Yeah,
during, like, 2015. somewhat.
not.
If
now,
anything,
though.
if I was given creative control, I would have disbanded fucking their team right now and put
in our wildest
her
dreams.
back into NXT. Put her into freaking NXT and make her go for the women's the NXT title.
Yeah,
She
start
went back
building her
down
up,
there for a little bit, and they brought her back up too fast.
and then just
Yeah,
didn't
but
do
if
anything with
they
it.
solidify her as a dominant threat and not fuck up like Kyrian Cross, it could be good.
Yeah, I'm worried about Cross. I think he's already done for. And he hasn't
Moving
gone-
moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Kyrian Cross versus John Morrison. It was a squash match. What do you expect?
Wait, who won that match again?
Kyrian Cross. He basically just
God.
jumped out on midway through his entrance,
So
squashed John Morrison, which I'm kind of upset about because they were pushing John Morrison after the betrayal with Miz.
here, like, if for anyone who watched the first episode, I put my underrated wrestler as John Morrison. So this just makes me really sad. This just makes me really depressed because I really like John Morrison.
Yeah,
I
Like,
agree.
John
That's
Morrison's
not,
a great. Yes.
just, like, I don't even know what are they even
Hot
doing
take.
with him with his gimmick.
The last good thing that John Morrison did was the WrestleMania match with Miz, Damien, and Bad Bunny.
yeah.
That's fair.
And you know what's so sad? Morrison was a really good wrestler when he was in WWE. Wasn't he in like Lucha
Yeah.
He,
Libre or something?
he
Isn't
won,
he-
yeah, he won the Lucha Libre main championship and he won the TNA championship multiple
Like,
times.
he was fucking
And then
really
WWE's
good
like,
there.
oh, we're gonna bring him back.
and then do nothing with
fucking
him.
drop him.
And fucking piss me off. Because you don't take...
Like they were trying to do something with him recently with the whole like, oh, I'm gonna go after Miz. I hate Miz now because he used me and stuff. Like that's
Which
a
is-
good thing for John Morrison to do because he's going out on his own.
Finally.
Yes,
and
but
then,
he's
like, no,
then
but
you
I-
have him get
we're
fucking
gonna squash
squashed. Like,
I think it's the same thing with Kieran Cross and his other matches on main roster, is that you're putting a person against the person that you're bringing up from NXT, but the person that you're feeding to the person from NXT is someone that you want to push.
Why
So
can't they?
either way, no matter what happens in that match, it's a lose-lose situation.
Why can't they just do like what they did when they first brought Braun into like singles competition? Get some local skinny dude to fucking take a bunch of bumps and die.
Yeah, like
Because then we get another Ellsworth, and I don't think WWE wants to go through all that.
No, because I don't mean build up an Ellsworth. I mean just have Cross just destroy some local guy and then
I know,
keep just doing that.
yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm already tired of killing Cross. I think it's the reason fact that they brought him up while he was NXT champion. I'm already tired of seeing him. They could have brought him up after he lost the title to make it mean something, but he was already up there, so we knew he was gonna lose and stuff in NXT.
And
He was
I'm
already
gonna go.
up there.
I'm gonna go more in depth for when we actually do talk about the NXT card. But 56 minutes ago on the official WWE Instagram, they have announced, and I quote, if I get the quote up again, it says, and I quote. NXT
Samoa
champion
Joe?
Samoa Joe has sustained an injury and is forced to relinquish the title.
I think this is not bad for the NXT championship, and here's my reasoning.
What, him getting injured?
Joe wasn't gonna hold the title for long. Joe, it's not a good thing, but like, Joe wasn't gonna hold that title long, was he? In retrospective,
No,
was
we
he?
can talk about that more when we go into the NXT talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for
I
now,
really want to talk about that one.
But
yeah,
like,
same, because I like, yet again, I'll have my opinions on it, but I'm thinking more of what they're gonna do with the title.
I think I have an idea.
tournament?
Same.
Tournament question mark?
I don't know, because the last time they had someone relinquish the title, it was Karrion Kross, and then they dropped it to frickin' who?
I
They
would like
fucking dropped it to.
I would watch tournament.
Finn
I'd
Balor.
like that. Just saying, I'd really like a tournament. So
And you know what? Here's one. Bring a WWE star who needs needs help with their character, like a guy on the main roster who's not doing much. Bring him down to NXT and have him enter the tournament, not win it, but enter it as like a shocking person.
that
to come to
I
the
see.
tournament.
That's I would like that. I want that. Because
But we'll talk about this
surprise.
later. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's next match?
So moving on, we have Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Yet again, okay. Here's my take on this real quick, and this will be the only time I mention this. It's going to be short and it's going to be sweet. Yes, the entire point of this match was to just give Charlotte some airtime and to like hype her up to eventually verse Alexa Bliss and Extreme Rules. Get that. But putting her in a match with Nia Jax, for all the viewers, I'm going to say this till the day I die. I do not like Nia Jax. Nia Jax is a safety hazard to anyone she dips into the ring with. I get that she has her place in history, and I get that she has like good heritage with like The Rock and stuff, and I get that like it's really like good to show a plus size woman in wrestling and stuff like that. I get that, but she does not have proper training, and she has injured more people than I can count. That's why I do not like to see her on TV.
Didn't she injure Nikki Cross? I think.
Not that I know of. I think the big one that
Kairi
people go
Sane.
through.
Just name a
Yeah,
person she's
she injured
probably
Kairi
injured her.
Sane. Injured Kairi Sane. She literally injured Becky Lynch on accident. But you're lucky that it was Becky Lynch and she could make that into a thing.
Yeah,
She's-
Becky got over with that injury.
Yeah, but she made it so.
Yeah.
People were thinking that because of that injury, she was going to be pulled out of that match because it was bad. It was a busted freaking nose.
But she still made it work because fucking it's Becky.
And she made it work. That's the only time that it actually worked for the person. But no, I will never like Nia Jax. Like, yeah, when she was in developmental in NXT and when she first came up, I liked her because
I mean,
she was protected, and anything that she did was protected. But now it's just pain.
I mean, like, because you're not putting her in the matches with good enough workers to completely protect her, and also because I don't know how you cheer for a person who's like actually injuring people on a regular basis.
Like everyone knows. Everyone knows, and like that whole thing with like the last thing that I remember she did of any worth is that whole shit with Reginald, and that's even foggy.
Right.
I think Nia Jax, if honestly, I think she needs pulled from wrestling to take a break or something.
She needs
Mm.
fucking training.
Once
Like
again,
I would much prefer if for this match instead of Nia Jax you put Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
or hear me out. Yeah, I agree. Because what I was about to say is take Nia away for like a few months or something, and bring Shayna into the picture for the championship. She is the one person that deserves a title shot out of any woman on the main roster, and she's not getting it at all.
Like literally, like I love Shayna Baszler as well. She's a great worker. She did her stuff in UFC, and then she brought some of that over to WWE. Great performer. I literally use her theme song for my custom character, and I've made a whole faction around her. That's beyond the point. But she is a great worker, and they ruined her on main roster. Like literally, remember her fucking elimination chamber stuff? Like
I
she
mean,
kicked ass, and now she's back to a nothing. Like, oh no, I can beat you up. Never mind, I lost.
right, you can't have an
Two
MMA like an
women that
MM
will win.
you can have an MMA based
Go ahead.
character and have them lose a lot. Because the whole point of that character is that they're a badass who can beat anyone.
Literally like Ronda Rousey and stuff too. I'm not saying fucking push her to the moon like they did
But,
with Ronda
like,
Rousey, but
Do
like
something
you
similar.
need that's why like if you put her in this match against Charlotte Flair, this exact same fucking match, you could have let her go loose, do some serious damage to Charlotte, but yet let Charlotte still win with like a figure four lock, sure, but it still shows that Shayna Baszler is ruthless.
Right.
No damage done.
Maybe even have her like just not tap out to that figure four or just pass out or something.
Mm.
Something like that.
Fuck you,
Just
Vince.
something to make her seem
What
tough.
I was gonna say is two women from NXT that came up on the main roster that I think deserve like championships and stuff is Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. That's just my opinion. I just love both of them as female wrestlers. They're great.
Alright. Next match, it was fucking boring. It was Reggie versus Akira Tozawa for 24/7.
Akira Tozawa is just someone else I will always feel really bad for. Feel bad for Akira
Yeah, because
Tozawa.
like he was decent. He was decent in NXT. I'll say that he was decent in NXT.
And like I figured out about him by playing 2K and just having him come out yelling. So I just kind of am a fan of Akira Tozawa now. But I'm sad that they don't
Isn't
use him.
his finisher where he just like drops his back on it, like jumps off the rope? I forget what it's called. A senton. Not a senton.
Like I appreciate that they made a proper match for the 24/7 championship. It wasn't just another fucking like a segment where someone loses it backstage. It was a proper match.
Yeah.
But no, this isn't right.
Yeah. Also, isn't a senton just kind of a reverse? Isn't a senton just a reverse, like, coffin drop? Kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you have, finally to round out Raw, you have the tag team Terminal,
Which was just
where it's
filler.
RK Bro, Bob Lashley. Yeah, it was a decent filler though because it has very rememberable people, and the fact that
Right.
RK Bro was on ringside just watching everything and doing some good reactions, it was very enjoyable. But it gave light to the tag team division.
It got
Which
some
is
people on TV.
And MVP.
Yeah.
MVP's back in the ring, isn't he?
He was always ring clear. They just prefer him to be the mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley, similar to how Paul Heyman is. He can still wrestle. He can still wrestle fucking 5 years if he wanted to, but he's just chosen to be in that role.
Because he's not bad
Which I
as a
think is actually
manager.
a smart decision on his half.
Well, it's the
Keeps
biggest smart decision
it's not.
because
it keeps him healthy. He still gets paid good
Freaking-
money.
and also the fact that he works well as a mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley. It makes Bobby Lashley that much more intimidating as not only a champion but just a superstar in general.
Right, because they just, like, they realize,
He
oh
really got
shit.
Lashley over.
Like, oh shit, he
Yeah,
can't.
he
he's
got Lashley over to get to that WWE championship point.
Yeah, because they realized when they brought him back, like, he still has no mic skills. Let's just give him his own Paul Heyman.
Yeah, like think about it. How many people thrive because they have a manager? Think of it. Friggin' MVP for Bobby Lashley. Every single time Paul Heyman has been a manager, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk, they all thrived. friggin' Don Callis with the whole of Elite and AEW, they are thriving right now as well, and they have good mic skills as well. It just makes those people that much more powerful.
Right. Like, just don't put a manager on a person who like isn't great on the mic but is a good wrestler, or just needs to be intimidating.
Yeah, like I think that's why Chavo Guerrero Jr. is the fucking manager for Andrade in AEW. Because on friggin' same reason they have Selena Vega when he was in WWE. Like, he's not good on the mic, but he is a great
Andrade
wrestler.
probably, like, if you knew Spanish, probably isn't bad on the mic. It's just that he can't speak English that well is the problem, and Chavo can.
He can speak decent English. It's just the fact that when he speaks English, it's hard to understand him because of how much his accent goes through.
Right.
Yeah. Like, the Lucha Bros have a way around that because they put accent and their language into English.
Yeah.
They purposely make certain sentences
like more Spanish-esque.
Yeah, more Spanish.
And also Penta, I remember, like,
but it works
have a manager. Right.
Yeah.
Also, before we move
on
to NXT, yeah, it was decent. But honestly, I was kind of expecting more. Like, I know All Out happened the night before, but I was kind of expecting Vince to be like, "Shit, we gotta put something really good together for this."
Yeah.
And
I think the only reason I think this is better than the Raws in a few weeks in the past. I think this Raw and last week's Raw are probably the best of this year, only because of the people that they're rising up. Damian Priest as US champ is very enjoyable to watch. RK Bro is literally comedic gold, and you're still having Bobby Lashley and MVP on every consistent Raw, at least doing something, which is interesting to watch.
Right.
Yeah, but my thing is, never mind. I was gonna say, compared to SmackDown, but then again, SmackDown
was meant to be huge. It's because it's at MSG.
Yeah.
Before we move on to NXT, a bit of gaming news came out. Is that multiple sources came out saying that the new 2K22 game is supposed to have GM mode come back, and that's and that one of the testers said it's a lot deeper than anyone would have expected it to be. So that got me pretty excited. My only concern for it is how bad the roster is going to be because of how many people they've let go. So hopefully they let you...
If you think about it, considering what's happened like in every single fucking consistent 2K game, like how many times have like you gone into a 2K game and spent hours on customizing your own characters? If you can import your own custom characters, the roster wouldn't really be an option.
Right.
If you think about it.
Because, like, as long as they let you use CAWs, it shouldn't be an issue.
Like, I won't believe GM mode with multiple sources. Like, that's happened years. It's like, oh, GM mode. I will only believe in GM mode when the company specifically says it. 2K games must say it themselves.
Yeah, I know, because they said,
if it is in the game, I will be happy.
Yeah, the only reason, like, it's more validity now is because 2K kind of teased it. Like, they said they're not going to announce anything, but everything's coming out and announcing in January. And also because the person who got the sources has had believable sources in the past. Like, his sources have been correct.
Similar to Charlie Intel for the Call of Duty franchise. Like, they're believable. But, in
it's
all
not
honesty,
guaranteed.
If they bring GM mode back, I will be extremely happy. I believe on my PlayStation 2, I have never I've never taken out SmackDown vs. Raw 06 because of its GM mode. So, you'll see more content on this channel, because we might do gaming stuff on this channel, and we might do a version of GM mode.
I'd love to do gaming stuff on this channel.
I have a question. Does this mean that Universe mode dies officially?
Not necessarily. I think
honestly,
it would be similar to like My Career and Universe.
Probably what they'll do is they just like barely change it, but because they focus all their energy on GM mode.
Yeah, I will say the NBA games you do have a GM mode, and then you have a thing. We have a thing called My GM mode where you're the GM of a team.
Yeah.
Then you have My League, which is you can control the entire league and stuff. I think that's what WWE will have
Yeah,
called
basically,
like
because like
My
my
GM
league,
mode or something, and then My Universe.
basically
Yeah,
Universe
like
would be like the
they wouldn't
freer
get rid of
version
it
of it.
because yeah, like universe mode will be like you have no restrictions. It will be GM mode, but for everything, and you have no limits on what you can do, which
Except
is what universe mode was meant to be.
Something I would like.
except hopefully in this version, GM mode's actually good,
Yeah,
unlike in 2K.
I know. Time will
Well,
tell.
And again, it's just like it's
something I
rumors.
would like to say is that um, if if they are gonna do a universe mode again, I would like for there to be a setting screen like when you get in a setting screen. And this can also be for GM mode, where you could
Draft.
put you have a list of shows that you could put in your universe mode, and then you have the option to add a custom show. So if you're in your GM mode, you could do like 3 custom shows for GM mode, or as many custom shows as you want for universe mode, as well as picking Raw, SmackDown,
I really just wish.
and NXT.
I really just wish Universe mode had drafts.
We
like
can continue
What's
talk.
next?
We can continue talking about GM mode and stuff when we finish all the shows. But this will be the last thing that I talk about it, which is I did see a YouTube video where someone like made their vision of GM mode, which was basically you start out on one of the indie shows,
Oh, yeah,
like
I saw
GMing
that.
their stuff, and then you build that up. You build your reputation up, similar to like games like NBA and stuff. Like, the higher reputation you get, the higher of like stuff you can do. Then you get signed to WWE with one of the 3 brands, and then you have to like maintain that, be happy with Vince, be happy with the fans, and then please sponsors and stuff like that. I don't know. It will all depend on what they plan to do, but we'll talk about that at the end of the
Yeah, because now we have to
end
talk
of the
about
podcast.
NXT.
NXT, Dynamite, and SmackDown. So
Yeah.
NXT, we start with Ember Moon versus Kylie Ray. Ember Moon's a great performer, very very good. It was a good match.
Did
She's
they-
back in
did-
NXT.
Did they ever have her on the main
That's
roster?
what I have to say.
They had her on main roster. She debuted the same year Nia Jax won the women's championship from Alexa Bliss. It was the night after Mania. That was 34, I believe.
Jesus, that's
Yep.
long.
And she had a terrible run. She should have been one of the people to win women's Money in the Bank, in my opinion. So I'm glad she's back in NXT.
She's been back in NXT for a while, but seeing her, because I watched this match from top to bottom, like this was one of the first matches I watched of the week, and it was really good.
I
Like-
agree.
Very, very well done.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to say about it. It's just a good women's match, which you don't really get to see nowadays.
Wait, Moon lost that match?
Moon lost. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
Moon lost. Which I'm completely fine
Okay.
with, because, like, she can build herself up pretty damn quick. Next match was, the bloody, $1 million men. I'll say that.
Something
That's all I'm
very
gonna say.
Spanish. Santanos Escobar.
Yeah,
Saying is
first
Grimes
thing.
was here, correct?
Grimes was spectating.
I just want to say Grimes he's
He's
deserving
over.
to be a champion. So.
He's over right now, which is good.
Mhm.
But
Maybe a future
I'm-
NXT champion, but it's gonna take time.
I'm not gonna. I would not expect to see him on main roster for another like 6 years.
Which
He-
I'm okay with. I think we're
he's-
all okay with that.
His best place is to stay an NXT guy.
Well, I mean, I think because Vince wants main roster to succeed, he's probably gonna start calling. I think he's gonna start calling up a lot of guys to get attention to the main shows.
But then that leaves NXT in the
'Cause-
dust, especially because there's
Well, do you think Vince
rebranded.
cares about
just
NXT?
No, and that pisses me off.
I'm not saying that's a good
Who
thing.
would
I'm
you
just
call
saying, do
up?
you really
Who do you
think Vince gives a shit about NXT?
if
Who
they
would he
push
call
if
up,
they
though?
push Kyle O'Reilly more, then they'll probably bring him up. Because
I
they
mean,
don't want him.
he
Like, they gotta bring
does
someone
use
up right now
A
because
guy to look
Raw lost to Dynamite this week. In terms of
No,
ratings.
they're gonna definitely, as soon as possible, they're gonna try to bring up Kyle O'Reilly, because like hands down, if you don't do anything with any members of Undisputed, they're gonna go to AEW.
Right.
I heard. I think Bobby Fish I
Which
know
could
you
be
guys said he's
checkmate.
retired, but man, I think honestly Bobby Fish might be doing something in wrestling soon. He just released new merch and stuff, so
Every wrestler does that.
Every wrestler
yeah.
has
No, they're like
merchandise.
hyping it. No, I'm talking like they hype that up pro wrestling.
Merchandise.
Oh,
Anyway, next match was the Creed brothers versus the local competitors, so it's nothing of
Right.
major.
Wait, they got local competitors for this, but they couldn't for the fucking Raw match?
I think the only thing like major to point out here was that Roderick Strong was training the Creed brothers. So they've definitely like they're trying. Yeah, it says specifically, and you can look it up on YouTube because it's on the NXT WWE YouTube page. That Roderick Strong is currently training the
that's
Creed
actually
brothers,
one person.
which is good.
Now that's one star I wouldn't mind seeing on the main roster is
Roderick?
Strong.
He'd
Yep.
be mid card at best at the moment.
I know, and that's an issue.
Sad.
I like Roderick Strong a lot.
I'd rather him stay in NXT, try to get to Kyle O'Reilly currently, like that kind of level where he can be literally at that main event guy and then go to NXT. So even if you put him in mid carder and stuff, he still has potential to get to that world. But
what is Roderick Strong? 38.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He's
he's about the same
old,
age as Damian Priest.
so they definitely
Yeah,
could push
you're
him.
a little bit bad.
And plus, he's gotten to the point where his son, because I follow him on Instagram, his son is at the age where he can continue to wrestle for a bit until fatherhood starts to take over.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like in about a few years, Tommaso Ciampa might quit wrestling for a bit because he wants to raise his daughter.
Which is fair, you know. It's
Yeah,
child.
how old Ciampa? Isn't he like in his 30s? He's 36.
Yeah,
So not that
Yeah.
old.
he's young.
Now, I think there's another guy that I think we won't see on WWE is Gargano. I think
Gargano, I think Candice LeRae just came out as pregnant.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And when their kid comes, you're not going to see Gargano on TV
For
bit.
about a
That's not gonna
year.
help him.
Maybe he
Yeah,
goes
that's not gonna
back
help
on
next
main roster.
Well, Candice LeRae, I don't think will. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he pulls like a Rollins or something, comes back early.
Probably. He
But
might
I
like
would
show up
say-
in the Rumble or something.
Yeah, I would
Which
say
would be
give
cool.
him like 3 to 4 months away from the product.
Yeah.
I think they gave Rollins like half a year. They gave Rollins like half a year.
At the same time,
Yeah,
though, it's Rollins.
And then he came back and he killed it when he came back.
Yeah. But anyway, time will tell. Like, a lot of people are having kids nowadays, which is good because they want their life to expand, which is really nice to see.
More wrestlers. More future wrestlers. Yes. More
Next match was the
entertainment.
NXT Women's Tag match, which was Stark and Shirai versus Carter and Kazeno.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, no, I was just fixing my headset.
So,
What is
Shirai and Stark retained their women's championships. Pretty fucking standard. It was decent. It was a
You
good
know
tag
what?
team.
this week in wrestling? I know I'm not gonna spoil much, but man, I don't know. It didn't feel as much hype as last week.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be
It
fair,
feel as
look at
much
the show,
weekend
like the
wise.
show we reviewed for our first podcast episode. So it's kind of a hangover from
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't love the act. So we're not trying to. If we sound boring to people right now on the podcast, we're not trying to be. It's just nothing.
still kinda
AEW
hungover.
just killed it so much.
Yeah.
I'm hungover.
It's like literally the night after an intense. Yeah, it's literally like the night after an intense party, and you're like just trying to get over that hangover effect. Like, its stuff is gonna get good. I believe that when the games, like the AEW game and the 2K game, start to release,
That's
then
gonna
they're
be
purposely going to do things in wrestling to
content.
hype it up. And plus, it will be content for here because if we find a week of wrestling that's like boring, we can just fill that episode and stuff with more
Yeah.
WWE like with the games and stuff because we are very creative minds, and I don't know how many
Oh
times
yeah.
all of the people on this podcast have said to me from what I've said that I've done in my game, saying, "Oh, you should write for WWE. You're creative as shit."
So yeah,
In our wildest dreams, we
uh,
get to write for WWE.
s-
Oh,
soon
that'd be
soon enough, this channel will be popping. Uh,
With
cool.
our 5
because the games are
subscribers,
gonna be
4 of which are of us.
listen, no, listen. I got my friend to watch. He said he would love to come join the Discord server. Even
I have
talk
two
if
Yeah.
of
he's
my
allowed to.
friends watching. One of them
I
literally
mean, the
listens to
first the
this
first
while he's
video is at
driving to
like
work.
30 views right now, I think. Let me see.
Which
Ish.
isn't bad. It's not
No,
bad for a debut.
for like having
Maybe
just
I'm
us as
two of them,
subscribers.
I still need to like
maybe
put on my
maybe I'm
Instagram.
two of them.
I still need to
35
put like
views.
Instagram up and stuff and say,
That's
Yeah, I
"Fucking
still
watch
fine.
need to
this."
post a promotion on my channel
You know
for
what
it.
sucks though?
Yeah, fair.
We're sorry we're off the NXT topic, but I found out actually that there is a wrestling promotion called Blackheart Wrestling.
I found that too. But like
Same.
their channel hasn't posted in like a year, so I think they're defunct.
Yeah.
Or
If we
COVID
can,
really hit them.
our goal is to overtake them. Let's go.
Let's
It's gonna
go.
be done. Alright, what's the next match?
Alright, let's
The next match. Okay, I'm just gonna breeze through the next two. Next one was just a standard one-on-one match, which was Mia Ying versus Virginia Ferry. Pretty
Virginia.
standard match. Ying defeated Ferry via
Country
pinfall. Pretty standard match.
roads, take me home.
I would say that Mia Ying has a unique look and gimmick, so I can see them going into like North American Championship range.
I'm
but
sorry. I'm
not
assuming
much you
Mia
can say on
Ying
that
is the
because-
one with the face paint.
Yes,
Okay.
but they're both fairly new, so like it was just a way to establish the
Male
newer
Oscar
stars,
question
which
mark?
is fair. Ooh, possibly.
He's got a similar look.
Anyway, last one that we're going to talk about, which I did enjoy watching this match, was NXT Tag Team titles up for grab. MSK versus the Imperium Boys. I like seeing the Imperium Boys, especially considering that Walter has lost the tag title and the North American title. I mean, fucking what? NXT UK, sorry, and so like not all focus on the Imperium faction is based on Walter anymore. Like, yeah, he's still leading it, but now other people can get more of a shot on belts,
Yeah.
which is good. I cannot speak today.
So that's the
Yeah.
None of us
that's
can.
it for NXT. I didn't talk much
I
during
will
the
mention
NXT
that
because I did
in
not
that in
watch
that
it.
match. In that match afterwards, Tommaso Ciampa did come out though, which was a good little thing, but he didn't
Yeah.
do much.
Now we should talk about Samoa Joe.
Oh yes,
Now
we
is
should
the
talk
time
about
to
Samoa
talk
Joe.
about
So I will say my stuff real quick. So it bums that Samoa Joe got injured and stuff. It's very reminiscent of Karrion Kross winning the championship and then immediately needing vacated. It sucks. Yes, I know. I do believe I disagree with what you were saying that he would have held it for a while because he would have done exactly what CM Punk is doing in in AEW.
CM
He would
Punk in
face more.
NXT.
No, yeah, that'd be interesting to watch. No, he would do certain stuff with younger talent, but he would only just be able to beat them, or he would just have to overpower them in order to win. So it would still make them strong and still make them seem like, hey, they can go for the title when fucking Samoa Joe loses it and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like the only kind of handful of people that can take the NXT spot, even if they do a tournament, I believe it will be Ciampa getting his next run with it. Someone like Walter, possibly. I don't know. Definitely not Kieran Cross. Do not put Kieran Cross anywhere near the NXT Championship at the moment.
Yeah. It's just
Should you
like
bring our
it's
main roster guy down? Is that what you're saying? Would you?
I would say bring them down for the tournament, like you guys were saying. I could say like bring them up to the semi-finals or something, and then have them lose to like
But-
someone like Ciampa and something.
what main roster guys would you put in that tournament, like from Raw or SmackDown?
Possibly Robert Roode, Keith Lee. I still think he should go back
Yeah.
down.
That would be good.
Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler is still on the roster. People are like, Dolph Ziggler's still at WWE. Like people were like confused sometimes. Like wrestling fans like, wait, Dolph Ziggler's still employed by WWE.
He's
Yes.
never going to leave WWE.
He's
No,
pretty
WWE did
loyal.
so much for him. He's loyal.
He's
Keep in mind that he was a part of the Spirit Squad, and he still was around.
he's stuck through that. I think he can stick through this.
I think
Yeah.
I think honestly he should go down to NXT and enter the tournament.
It wouldn't be bad
Because
to
he's
have
been
Dolph
one guy
on.
that everyone.
It wouldn't be bad to have Dolph on NXT in general because you might be able to give him more screen time then.
I think
Exactly.
like that's actually a
If
match
you-
I really want to
if you-
see: Tommaso Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler. That'd be a good match.
Because
And
Dolph is
also,
a good
listen,
worker.
If you want to put a guy that you bring down from the main roster in the NXT, Ziggler's the guy. If you wanted to put him in the finals, I'm not saying win it, but have him in the have a WWE guy in the finals, it would be Ziggler. He would be the perfect guy.
And I don't
And you
think
can do Ciampa versus Ziggler NXT Championship.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
I feel like that would be that would. I feel like if they would do a tournament for the NXT Championship, I feel like the final match would be at a pay-per-view or something.
Now, or I have a question: are we gonna get Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
Those are two guys who are looking like they could be NXT champions.
They would definitely put Kyle O'Reilly into the tournament if there was one. Pete Dunne, yeah, definitely, but I don't think he would get higher than semifinals.
Yeah.
I think that Pete Dunne needs just a little bit more work to be NXT Championship worthy. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have AE, don't we? Dynamite.
And we start
Dustin
that.
Rhodes versus Malachi Black. I'm still happy that they're making Malachi Black as powerful as they can.
Right. I don't get why they have
I
him
agree.
fighting Rhodes though, Dustin Rhodes. Like I get he's doing the like whole against Rhodes family thing, but like it's still kind of weird to see, in my opinion.
I think Malachi Black is building up though right now. Honestly.
Yeah, they're like adding wins to his streak, I think. Just building him up more and more.
I think he is the person that's gonna beat Miro.
Yeah, I do too. I think Full Gear or something, like they wrap up this feud with like the Rhodes family by the end of the month, and then have him enter a feud with Miro before Full Gear. And
I think
next month.
Wait, I'm checking. I want to check his win-loss record because I think he's
Mirror or Black?
Black.
He's still undefeated though.
Mirror is still undefeated. He's technically he's undefeated in singles. He's 12-0 in singles. Malachi Black is 3-0 when it comes to his whole career in AEW. They're gonna build him up a little bit more, so it's like undefeated streak versus undefeated streak.
I'm kind of surprised that like
But
Dustin Rhodes still wrestles because he's pretty old now though. Like
he's gonna lose. He's like basically every match he's gonna wrestle, he's gonna lose because he knows his age. He knows how much time he has left. His
Right.
literal job is to put over talent.
Right, which is a good thing. At least he's not like having himself put over, but still, it's kind of weird to see him there because it's not like he's bad. It's just kind of
Like,
awkward.
Who are we talking about? Sorry, I was.
He'll win the occasional match every now and then, but he's not gonna go over. Like if
Right.
I look at his win loss
It's just
record,
in my opinion
the-
that it's awkward fit. It's kind of like Billy Gunn being in AEW. Like it just feels kind of
like
off.
Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes currently 2021. His overall record is 8-1, but majority of those are won by trio matches and tag team matches,
Right.
which is like pretty freaking
Who are
standard.
we
His whole
talking about?
Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, he's-
the second has like a send off, it's gonna be against Cody. Like that will be his
Which-
last.
I'm
Right.
not against, but I feel like Double or Nothing should have been the send off. To be honest, I know it was like their first event, but still, I feel like you shouldn't. At least make Dustin Rhodes like a general manager figure, and his final match should have been against Cody at Double or Nothing.
I don't think he's gonna have his last match or like his send off pretty soon. Anyways, after that match, which was whatever, we have Punk coming out, speak to the crowd, and the whole crowd singing Cult of Personality as he comes out, which I am a fan
the
of.
whole thing with
Team
Team
Taz.
CM Punk.
I am not a fan of Team Taz versus Punk. Like, I get it's the really young guys, Team Taz, that they have in there. Like, they're really young guys, aren't they? Like, and it's gonna get them over, and you can't put Punk in all main event feuds. But why this one?
Because Team Taz isn't really doing anything. Like, they literally have a championship that no one knows exists. And that's
The
just to put them on
FTW
the map.
title.
Saying,
I mean-
hey,
Wait,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, the
FTW.
FTW title.
Hold up.
FTW title was put on bloody Brian Cage when he entered AEW. Then he lost
Yeah.
it to some other guy. And then he's no longer in Team Taz, and that's what is really working for him right now. But, you know, putting CM Punk against them is just bringing light to the fact that they exist and the
Right.
fact that they could be somewhat powerful.
And
which
it's
is
like
fair, because
it's
Taz
nothing
is a good
against
manager.
it's nothing against that team or stable or anything. It just wasn't what I was expecting immediately to go to after the Allen match. After
Yeah.
like All
Yeah,
Out,
I
it's not
agree.
it wouldn't be my first choice. It wouldn't be like not on my list, but it's not the first thing I would have done.
But I
with
feel
him.
like
I
it
got
can
a
work.
question.
I
It's
feel
not-
like it can work, though.
Yeah.
I got a
What?
question.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it gonna take until we get MJF Punk feud?
Oh, a while.
That's-
Definitely a while.
It's gonna be a while, but that
MJF
feud.
is doing his own thing. It'll be a good feud when it does happen, but right now MJF is killing it, doing his current thing, and I
Yeah.
know for a fact that they're gonna want Punk to go over on MJF.
Hear,
So I feel like they're gonna have to
hear me
wait.
out. Hear me out.
What?
Punk,
No.
if you're gonna put Punk with the AEW World Title, he should drop it to MJF.
Ooh, yeah.
That
mean,
is a
that's-
hot take, but I think
It's
it would
not-
be a good.
I think it's a good idea. If you do put the world
That
title
would
on
boost-
Punk.
MJF
And
as a heel.
I don't care what anyone says. I think they're going to put the world title on Punk at some point. I think they are. You know, I'll defend that, but I think at some point they're putting the title on him. Not soon, but at some point he's going to have the title.
Yeah. I will quickly blow through some of these matches because they were some of these matches were pretty freaking standard.
Like
You have
Dante Martin
Dante versus Will. It was like, it was a good match. Like, it's obviously like both of them are freaking, like, one of them's a high flyer, one of them's more of a grappling guy. Good match for AEW. It's one of those good ones where like you have it between the big things to make the big things more meaningful. Fair point. After that was the MJF, his promo after losing at All Out, which was fair. Basically him just going F you to everyone.
talking shit about
Pillman Jr.
Cincinnati.
interrupts her. Yeah. Then Brian Pillman Jr. interrupts, going like, "Hey, you're a piece of shit. I want to fight you," and then putting
Didn't-
up their match for later down the road.
Didn't MJF call like Pillman's daughter like a meth addict or something? Or like
Yes.
I was like, damn. I know like they're more lenient with what they say, but I wasn't expecting like someone to be called Methany on TV.
I will say I was the most excited one probably out of anyone to see Pillman Jr. on television.
Yeah, because
Because
you're
Yeah,
I
you-
honestly
you-
think
you're a big
he's
Pillman
a
Jr. fan.
future AEW World Champion. I think he's gonna do something for his father's legacy, and I think that would be AEW World Championship. Because if you, I'm saying this for his father. If you look back at what Pillman did, Brian Pillman, he was a future world champion written all over him, and sadly it didn't happen. So I think that if he wants to carry the legacy of his father,
Yeah.
I think winning the AEW World Title is a thing to happen.
I
But
mean,
it's a good thing putting him against someone like MJF, because MJF
Yeah.
is always memorable. Putting him someone against that, whether he wins
And
or
this
loses the
is-
whole feud or just a match, then it's going to work.
and this is like gonna be
Exactly.
Pillman's first bigger feud against a more
Major thing, yeah.
yeah, which is why I was like, oh wow,
More of a mainstream guy.
which is interesting. It's
After
gonna
that,
be
you
interesting to see.
have
Oh fuck. Shit.
He's back.
Hey,
Discord
buddy.
Discord kicked me out for some fucking
Are you
reason.
still
You're still recording. You're still recording.
Let me check. Yes, I am.
Please.
It's still recording.
Oh.
It's still recording.
Okay.
I keep
Okay.
checking. I'm very
Can we be
paranoid.
heard? Can we be heard?
Yeah, I can hear you, so I'm sure it can hear you too.
Okay, so we can
I
just
didn't
cut
stop
that out. It's
recording.
fine.
Yeah. God,
Okay.
I have to edit this shit.
so
I
the
hope it
next-
comes out well.
Next match is
Or you can
Ruby
send it to
Soho.
AfterCrash. He can do it.
Yeah.
Next match was Ruby Soho and Jamie Hayter, which was like basically a lackey for Britt Baker. I think that this was the best possible way to make her attached to the women's championship, but also give her a match of her own. I think that was the best possible way that they did that, in my opinion. Because we'd want to build Ruby Soho up before tackling Britt Baker for the championship.
Right,
She has the
because
championship clause.
you
She won
did
the Battle
say
Royale.
because you did say, or someone said that like it's cool that she came over to AEW, but when she was in NXT, she was more of a mid carder.
That was me, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so you do
building
have to
her
build
up
her up.
effectively, because you need to fucking put Ruby Soho through the roof if you want to verse Britt Baker, because Britt Baker's freaking over the moon right now when it comes to pop. So
Because to you, you're one of Britt Baker's biggest fans.
no, not just that. It's literally every single time, freaking, someone's over when she freaking gets announced, and they simply say Dr. Britt Baker, and everyone in the freaking audience goes DMD. That's when you know someone's over, and that happens every single time she gets announced.
She is so over. No, I will admit that.
Exactly. So like you need to build Ruby Soho up to get to that point to make that
Do you
amazing.
think Soho's gonna win it though?
I don't know. It depends where this goes, because if she versus,
Because it's gonna be a while, because they're not gonna put it on like a Dynamite
they're not
episode.
gonna pull that trigger.
They're gonna put it on like their
no.
next pay per view, so like they could build her up
But
in
yeah,
that time.
which is a good thing. You have so much time to build for the next pay per view.
I think if they play it right, in my mind, that's putting Ruby Soho in a match every single week, whether it be against Jamie again or someone else. If they constantly have, because Ruby Soho won this match. Ruby Soho won this match against Hayter, and then after the match, Britt Baker and everyone else jumped her, which makes her Ruby Soho more powerful when it comes to being a face. Like if they continue to do something like that each week, that will easily put Ruby in a position where she can go for the title and no one will be mad.
Right.
Which is honestly the ideal method of doing that.
Damn. No.
Alright. Next match was the 6-man tag team match between FTR, Shawn Spears, and the Dark Order. It was a
I
good
forgot
match.
about Spears, to be honest. That's all I'm gonna say.
And
Yeah,
the Pinnacle, which
this
was
isn't
FTR
really-
and Shawn Spears, defeated. Like, Dark Order can get over whether they lose or win because they're a comedy act now, which is good. But I think this was the best play, to be honest, in my opinion, because the Pinnacle, they just formed because of MJF. This is showing that they actually have power on their side and that they're actually something to be recognized by.
Yeah.
Which is
Honestly, not super memorable match overall, though, to me.
good. Yeah.
I think Spears is very forgettable to me though, because last I heard of him, he was hitting Cody Rhodes with a chair.
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to like make him more of a a right hand man to MJF in this faction.
I honestly
I think that's
Sean's.
what they're doing.
I think he will be a TNT champion.
Definitely 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about AEW World Champion. but
They'd have to
NXT
build him up a
TNT
lot to do
champion.
that. Like, not out
But
of the
no, I
question.
definitely believe that he's in the position to win TNT. Definitely.
Yeah. Next thing that happened after...
Final thing. Pretty much there's two more things. One of them is a match that was alright. Next thing is the Elite and Bryan Danielson interrupting them. Yes, it works. Because the Elite is literally over right now when it comes to heels. And having Bryan Danielson basically repeat what he did in All Out, but then
Right.
he tries to jump Kenny, and then the Elite freaking
Beat him
smash
down.
him down, and then Jungle Boy and the Jurassic Express and and Christian Cage come out
Yeah.
to help him. I feel like
My
that's
question to you guys is, are we gonna see Danielson fight before the pay-per-view? If he's gonna face Omega, is his first match gonna be the Omega match, or is he gonna fight on there?
Might be a tag match.
I don't know.
But my
I feel like
question
they might, if
is
they
that
do put him in a match.
you go.
You guys have questions, Jesus. If they put him in a match before the pay per view, it'll either be a tag team match or it'll be a singles match versus someone from Elite, but then it'll be jumped. Like they won't let him finish the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are they gonna give him the championship?
We don't
I
know
would-
yet.
I would be
It all
surprised
depends in the next few weeks.
how they use him, but honestly, I wouldn't be
I wouldn't
surprised if
mind
Omega
seeing
drops the belt to him.
I think they have to build Danielson in AEW just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna, if he's like Ruby Soho, if they like a Ruby Soho type situation where she's boosted to the world title already, build him up at least.
Because what's the name? I think that's what a lot of people have the problem with WWE guys coming into AEW, is that they're immediately expecting like, oh, they've come in from WWE, now they're gonna push them to the stars because they were ex WWE guys.
Right.
But if they actually like stop for a second, build them up to be, hey, we were in WWE, but now we can kick ass in AEW, and then go for the title, people had no fucking problem.
Yeah. Are we even sure that he's facing Omega, or is he gonna face Cole for his first match?
He teased versing Omega. He's like, hey, you're scared to fight me, verse me, championship, yada yada, and Kenny never gave him a straightforward answer. So
Right. But I mean, either match would be good.
And then
Danielson versus Cole or versus Omega.
I think, in my opinion, I think they should go him versus Cole to establish both of them.
Yeah. Who you have win that match though?
And plus, I feel like it would be no contest.
Oh, like outside interference.
Elite would interfere. Yeah, outside interference. But yeah, it would be purposely. It would specifically be the Young Bucks because of their thing with Adam Cole. But
see, I hate that because I hate to have pay-per-view matches end with like interference, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I can get that. It's too hard to pick which one you want to win that one.
I feel like,
or they could do something. I feel like they actually, if I was to put on my thinking cap here, and this is just my speculation, this is how I would run this. They would have Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole. It would get interrupted by Elite, and then obviously Jurassic Express and Christian Cage would come down to help and stuff. And then Tony Khan would come out and goes like, this is unacceptable, yada yada yada, we're turning this into a faction v faction match. And then it would be restarted with all of those new people in the match. And then you'd have Christian Cage, Daniel Bryan, and then Bryan Danielson, like all of that. They're called the Anti-Elite, so I'm just going to refer to them as that now. They would have the Anti-Elite win, put them over, because that would just give them a lot of heat, and it would make the Elite look more like cowards, in my opinion. So then the championship that Kenny holds would be more at risk and of threat.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's how I'd run it. See, I'm good when it comes to this shit.
Mr. Universe man.
Final match, we had Moxley versus
Suzuki.
Oh, can I talk about I gotta talk about this one.
Go for it.
You were talking to me.
Because I was ranting with Callie about this, and should we talk about the ending right away? Am I good too?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
No, yeah, whatever.
So Moxley, should I or should we wait?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because it's not like it was an important match.
No.
Whatever you're confident with.
So Moxley hits his finisher on Suzuki and then elbows him in the head. Suzuki's bleeding from his eye. Moxley then pins him, and Suzuki kicks out at 1. So you're like, okay, Moxley's gonna keep going with this. And then they fight back and forth for a little bit, and then Moxley hits his finisher again, and it's a 3 count. It's a 3 count. Like 2 minutes ago it was a 1 count, now it's a 3 count already. Like, I understand Suzuki is a legend in wrestling in general, but to go from a 1 count to a 3 count in less than 2 minutes is what baffles me about this match.
Right.
It's something that confuses me.
I mean,
It's the power of the elbow, man. You don't question it.
the elbow, the almighty elbow, the almighty Moxley elbow.
Yes.
We pray to
He's
it
like-
as we fear
He's
it.
bleeding from his eye, and I just
So,
lost him fucking.
What's up
my
with
count 'cause I'm
AEW
pissed off
getting
about
like people's
Moxley
eyes
match.
bleeding?
Yeah.
But no, it was a good match for Moxley. It's good that Moxley isn't in like a major title picture, but he has this small thing with him, which is good for him.
I did like Moxley going over.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
did you think he was gonna lose? Like, there was a chance he would lose to Suzuki? They just have all these old Japanese guys come out and beat up Moxley?
No, but if
Okada
this can
comes
build
out.
Moxley into the AEW World Title picture again, why not?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure most
But
of
it's
these,
good that he
like,
didn't go straight to like TNT or a tag team match. Like it's good that like he's taking a break from title scenes and still doing like
stuff.
decent work with other people. Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty sure most of these, like, matches with Japanese guys is because this is what he wanted to do. Because he
But do
wanted
you
to work
think-
with the Japanese
Do you
guys.
think do you think he's gonna lose any of them?
Not unless
know.
it's a younger guy who they're, like, planning
Because-
to, like,
because
loan
I
over
don't-
for a while. Because they wanted to bring
Because
over
here's
a
my
lot of
point of
Japanese
view.
guys.
Yeah, I get that. And Moxley wants to wrestle all these Japanese guys, but you're gonna have Moxley over in each match. I think that'll get a little annoying. It'll just be, I don't know. I feel like it'll be shoving Moxley down our throats a little bit with beating
Well,
all these legends.
Well, what?
So-
I don't think it's too
Having a-
much though.
Well, at the same time, if you want to have Moxley lose and have, like, him have an actual feud with one of these New Japan guys, what New Japan guy would you have him lose to and have a feud with?
Okada.
Yeah,
But then he'd have to go
Yeah.
to New Japan for that.
because
It'd either be
And that's
Okada
the
or
issue.
Naito. But
well, why
you
couldn't they just
can't
have
put them
Okada
in
come
one match.
over for a while?
Because he's strictly a New Japan guy. The only
Oh.
time he ever does anything outside of New Japan is if it's like a like the New Japan Ring of Honor collab thing,
But
like where
like,
it's a proper pay per view.
right, but at the same time, AEW
Bushi
and
still wrestling?
Kota Ibushi.
But they don't have a designated they don't have
Yeah,
a designated
Ibushi-
pay per view for it.
Ibushi's a guy
that's the
that's still
problem.
around.
Yeah,
You
they
could
We,
have
we don't know
Moxley
where
versus
he is at
Ibushi.
this point.
well,
I know
Moxley
he's
versus
consistently
Ibushi.
injury prone. That's my big thing on
He-
freaking
Ibushi?
Ibushi.
he's injury prone,
Yeah,
or
he's
he's injured.
consistently injury prone. He's just injury prone. Like he consistently gets injured at the worst times.
Right.
Remember,
I
I,
mean-
remember the ads for the New Japan game between him and Omega.
I mean, an AEW versus
But
New
no.
Japan pay per view wouldn't be bad. You could,
They have to build. I think they have to build AEW up a little bit more to get to that level, though.
yeah.
My
definitely.
question is, it's kind of crazy to me to think like a few months ago we were saying, oh, WWE and New Japan, the rumors they're gonna team up probably and stuff, and then it's AEW and New Japan is what we're getting.
Well, I mean, that's why you can't
Mm.
trust hearsay, even if it's reported by reputable sources.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but no, it was a good AEW show. They
Yeah.
did they had their moments, they had their main eventers, and they had their upcoming stars, which is what you expect from like a show like that.
And again, I think the show was kind of bring the energy down a bit because you just had that huge pay per view. Like, you need to have the great things
Yeah.
feel really great, and they have.
You're bringing
a
it
bunch
back to
more.
reality a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't have Punk's first match in 7 years every week, and Danielson and Cole coming out every week. That same shock
Yeah.
level of it. In that tag match,
Mm.
like
they're,
you can't.
they're doing well with what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're putting out the product that people expect from them.
Which is
And
good,
they're doing
which
it
is what they
very
need to
well.
do.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're moving over to SmackDown,
SmackDown.
at the Garden.
At MSG.
Exciting. But I
Actually,
enjoyed this
and-
episode.
Before we go into SmackDown, I will say that there is something that happened which is really, really sad, which was Selena Vega and what happened to her. So she had a match at the Garden, and at the Garden is her hometown, and something happened, and I'm not going to name it here. You can go look it up yourself. But something happened near the Garden in 2001, which Selena Vega holds very close to her heart, and she had custom gear and the whole lot built for a match at the Garden, but that match got cut, and it broke her heart.
Damn.
And what's it? No, but here's the thing.
I think that's messed up on Ted Visa.
Here's the thing.
Alright, we're recording.
Sami Zayn's not on this card.
I am
No,
recording
but when
again.
we talk about Sami Zayn, pass it over to me so I can just say one thing real quickly, and then we can get back to you. I just have the funniest thing to say. We're recording? Are we recording?
Yeah,
Hello?
I
Part
hit
two?
record. I hit record. I have OBS open
Okay,
now,
so
just
we're
like
gonna,
as I'm
edit
recording,
this-
so I make
We're
sure.
gonna edit these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
edit these together later, but
Oh god.
we're starting on SmackDown now, and so we're just going to quickly go through this because we don't really have much to say. Brock Lesnar returning at the MSG to wreak havoc on the Bloodline. Obviously, that's just to make Brock more of like a threat. Obviously, he has the stuff with Paul Heyman. Basically, his entire thing was, "Oh, you should make me verse your bloody employer of Roman Reigns because you're a bitch," which was pretty standard stuff when it comes to Brock. 10-man tag team match. You had you had Apollo Crews, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode battling the Mysterios, Big E, Rick Boggs, and Ken Nakamura. Having Big E consistently win, especially with the Money in the Bank on him, it basically strengthens him up, ready for the cash in, which is really, really good in my opinion. And I will talk about this a little bit later after we finish the SmackDown review, but Selena Vega was meant to have a match at the MSG, and it got cut, unfortunately, and it was really meaningful to her because not only is it her hometown, but she was deeply affected by the thing that we will not name that happened in 2001. So it was really sad to see her match get cut and how it affected her. But we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're up to Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair actually signing for a match, which I'm happy about.
Drip Queen. The Drip
'Cause, like,
Queen.
Because, like, I'm getting sick and tired of Becky Lynch just coming out, getting promoed on, and her just going, "No, I'm not going to fight you," and then just walk away. This is actually a confirmed match for
You can't
Stream.
just put the title on someone and not have them wrestle. It's the point of being champion, Becky. You have to.
Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to make Becky heel, or I don't know. It's very underwhelming,
yeah,
but it was
I
a
don't-
good promo nonetheless because, like, yeah. I don't know.
You know
it's just
what's my
very,
time?
It's very what the heck.
Yeah,
Surprising.
it really is.
Next we have Edge vs Seth Rollins, the run back from SummerSlam, and Rollins defeats Edge this time to keep him strong, which I can understand. Obviously,
Are we excited to see Edge Rollins too? Like a second match of this? I'm kind of
Yes.
excited for it.
Yeah, I am.
yes,
I
because
think
I'm
even
honestly
though-
just
even though
excited
Rollins is deserving.
I'm just
Rollins
excited
is
to
deserving of a
see.
Universal title picture. But
Like
I think if it's anything to go off the SummerSlam match, it's going to be a great match.
yeah, exactly.
I'm still just
I don't know, I
shocked in
feel like-
general to see Edge back, so I'm still here for that.
Yeah, but I feel like people are saying that this might be the last time Edge ever wrestles in Madison Square. So I don't know, but I feel like if Edge and Seth do fight at one more pay-per-view, it should be the last time that they fight at a pay-per-view. It should be the last time.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do any more than that.
Yeah.
What does like
I
Edge do after
agree.
that though?
I think he would do a few more dream matches and then
Honestly, hear me
Right.
out. Nakamura versus
Um,
Nakamura. Edge.
it's not a
I
bad
don't-
match. It's just that with Edge's injury history, I'm kind of concerned with putting him in a match with a strong style guy. That's my concern.
Yeah,
He's
but
very
wait, here's
It-
my thing. Edge deserves one title before he retires after this return. And
Oh
I
yeah,
think the IC
I
title
completely
is
agree,
that
but it shouldn't be something anytime soon. It shouldn't be something in the next month.
no, yeah, definitely not.
yeah.
But like
If you're
universal
gonna put a
title,
belt on, if they're gonna put a belt on Edge, they're gonna have to do it at one of the main. So they would either put a belt on him at a WrestleMania, at a Survivor
Rumble.
Series, or at
Edge
a Royal
wins
Rumble.
Rumble question mark.
Wait,
No, not
no,
again.
Edge wins the IC title at the Rumble, and you build him up to maybe if Edge is gonna retire soon. Let's just hypothetically have his final match against a young guy at Mania and have him drop the IC title at Mania.
Yeah, but
That could work.
I wonder what young guy they
But
should
who
give
is that? What
to.
you asked?
Yeah, but who? That's the main questions I always ask. But who?
On
global
SmackDown.
thinking.
Maybe
Finn Balor.
maybe you have someone come up
Balor,
from
if he's not-
NXT in that time and beat Edge.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Ciampa,
I was about to say
Gargano,
that.
Riley.
See,
I think it would be more of a chance of Tommaso though, because
I would like Ciampa or
Tommaso
Gargano,
versus Edge sounds better.
but you did say when we were doing the NXT recap that Gargano and Ciampa could be leaving soon because they could have a kid. So why would you
Well, no,
put
so
a guy
Ciampa
super
already
over?
has a kid,
I-
but Ciampa already has a
Oh
kid, but
my-
it's getting to the age where they're getting older and they want their father to be more. And Gargano and Candice LeRae have just come out as she is legitimately pregnant, so I don't know. It all
Okay.
depends on timing.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the Edge thing real quickly. If we give Edge the IC title, there's two opponents I just got in my mind.
Sure.
One person who want to see Edge fight again is John Cena. I think that's one thing. Cena's never held the IC title, so
Yeah, but you
it'd
have
be a
Edge
good
win
scenario.
that.
Cena finally gets.
Wait, you have Cena.
No,
beat Edge?
Cena would win that one.
But
Yeah,
Like,
when
I think that would
so he finally
overshadow-
gets the Grand Slam. He would finally
No,
be a
that-
Grand Slam champion.
That wouldn't work because that would be overshadowing Edge's.
and like
It would be more focused on Cena becoming a Grand Slam than
That's true.
Edge's final match.
and also like what who would Cena wrestle against to drop that title? Like you're gonna have him on TV long enough to
Cesaro. Cesaro.
I don't know,
Which is
I-
the other name I
I'm
was gonna
tired
link
of
to
seeing
the
Cesaro on
Edge.
the IC title scene. I want to see him in a main event scene already.
Yeah, but I do want to see. I was gonna say Cesaro is a name that Edge could drop to, but also the draft's coming soon, correct? Is this confirmed or are we getting a draft?
I mean, they're still doing the
We
brand
don't know.
split,
It
so
hasn't been confirmed at all.
I mean, they're still doing the brand split, so probably at some point they will.
You could bring some guy over from Raw, like a name I have here is Keith Lee, Mustafa Ali.
Actually,
Ricochet wouldn't be mad against Edge.
Keith Lee
Ricochet
retires.
versus Edge would not be a bad match.
Keith Lee retires
Ricochet
Edge.
is more realistic. Out of the three of those that you've listed, Ricochet would be more realistic. Keith Lee, definitely not. They need to build him up more. Mustafa Ali, do not touch him with a 6-foot pole. He needs to recover from that freaking faction crap.
Well, God,
Yeah,
don't
but
don't talk about it.
Mania is how many? Mania is how many months away? We are
Quite a while.
7 months away from Mania.
Yeah. So in that time, you
I
could
don't know,
build.
it'll
You
just
could build
happen in
Keith
the
Lee.
next few weeks.
Or Ali, in
Yeah.
that matter.
I don't want to
Another-
think that far into the future because like it's so
Like a lot can happen.
So
Anything
far
can
ahead.
happen.
Yeah.
And
Literally
Undertaker can
anything.
move out of retirement in that time period.
Please don't leave.
And
Just let him
fight
be
like,
retired. Let him enjoy
and-
life.
And he can fight like a guy like Elias.
moving on.
Don't let
Or
Taker's last
Goldberg.
match be against Elias. Please.
Edge's last match is against Goldberg.
No.
Moving on. We're not going to touch
Stop
that. We're not touching that. We're not touching
Stop
that.
giving the dub
Next.
ideas.
Next match,
Shane
We
O'Mac,
had-
baby!
God damn
we
it.
had the tag team championship match between the Usos and Street Profits, but however, the Street Profits won due to disqualification due to interference with Roman.
Roman.
Honestly, okay, I just want to say something about the Street Profits. I like them a lot as a tag team.
So
I
do I.
like the Street Profits a lot. However, I am a little tired of them as tag champs because they're kind of forgettable as tag champs, aren't they?
It's because when they were the tag champs of Raw, a lot of the good tag teams that they could have feuded with, they either had injuries or they had COVID problems because it was literally in the middle of the Thunderdome era.
Yeah.
So like I would see them because making them win but due to DQ shows that they're still powerful. So I wouldn't put it past them that they would beat the Usos for the championships and actually have a proper tag team match with other proper tag teams. Because let's be real here, when they were tag champs, who were the only people that the Street Profits faced? They only faced the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Which aren't like.
But I will say, I think a lot of people hate the Viking Raiders things, but some of those were kind of funny, like just goofy all around.
Which is
Yeah,
what they're
so
meant to
like
be.
having them win at SmackDown with other tag team champs, like you can have them versus frickin' Ziggler and Rude. You can have them versus the Mysterios, which would be a good face-on-face match. Like I would pay to see that, and it would be really, really good for them to have the tag champ. So having them,
Yeah, the Usos
having
versus
them
like
win,
I want
would
a
be
good
additional.
I want a good tag match between the Usos and the Street Profits. I think you could have that match go for like 20 minutes, and if it's done properly.
Yeah, so like I can see that they're still trying to keep them strong, having them win at DQ, but
Yeah.
yeah, it all just depends there, and that was it for SmackDown. Those were all the matches.
Yeah, it was a
Oh
good
no,
SmackDown.
no.
Oh wait. There's a thing that Jordan wants to talk about. Take it away.
So, Sami Zayn, he's chilling out in the ring. He's cutting his promo. He's wearing his Knicks jersey, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring someone out," and he goes, "Trey Young," and then a lollipop with pubic hairs on it comes out to the ring, and then he's involved in WWE, and then he calls Sami Zayn the match and gets booed out of New York like he did beforehand. It's phenomenal. They're
Did
doing
you?
something right with a celebrity for once.
Did you
No, it sucks.
did you say Trey Young was the lollipop that has hair on it?
With pubic hair on it, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he looks like
I
the
think I just
lollipop
lost
you drop
brain
on the
cells.
carpet.
I think I just lost brain cells hearing that.
Hold on. Trey Young.
Show him a picture of Trey Young. Put a picture of Trey Young in the chat, so he can
I'll
have
put a
a
picture of Trey Young the lollipop. Hold on.
with a lollipop for comparison.
Some guy actually posted Trey Young on his way down to the ring.
Basically, the entire conversation of the entire point of that conversation was Trey Young was used actually right as a celebrity guest on a wrestling show.
I know they brought him in
That
a place where
Because
he's
he
actually
had so much.
disliked.
He has. Yeah, he's in a place that he's actually not liked.
New York.
Well,
Well, I will say this: John Cena fought. Did you guys know this? They were wrong when they said Cena would be on Madison Square Garden show in a dark match, in a tag match.
What? A dark
believe
tag
this?
match?
Yes.
we don't talk about dark matches here.
But hold on, this is John
Hold
Cena in a
on.
dark tag match. I feel like it deserves an exception.
No.
It's John Cena. They didn't put him on the show.
What the fuck? All those little 7-year-olds are pissed.
I'm trying to find the tweet. I may have liked it.
Of course, the fucking tweet.
I need-
Trey
I
Young
see-
on his way down to the ring, and he looks like a pubic lollipop. Oh my god, you might have to make this the fucking thumbnail.
Oh, let me see it. Did you put it in chat?
AfterCrash.
Not yet. Hold on, I gotta
Please
find
don't.
Oh, put
That-
it.
the thumbnail.
We got
Please
it
don't make that the
now.
thumbnail.
I was what image are we making the thumbnail for this week? Because last one was Cole like getting
After
kissed by the
crashes.
Young Bucks.
Yeah, AfterCrash is in charge of the thumbnails because he can make good thumbnails.
I know, but
Sorry.
at the same time,
I'm
he's
trying
been
to
busy.
find-
He's been busy recently, though. So someone else might have to
I
do
think
it.
you can just take the images that are just basically like the three
Ones that we want.
3 or 4 main logos, like
Yeah.
the logos.
By
of
the way,
companies
I'm
like Raw,
realizing now
SmackDown,
I've
NXT.
like because I'm so paranoid of OBS just stop recording, I've had it open, so I might just have someone has to make like a background or something because I switched between tabs while recording, so we might just have to like make a background thing.
What you can do is you can just no. So what you can do is you can just take the audio from this recording, and then you can just make like you can just have the image from the thumbnail be the background of the whole video.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, no, we're not making Trey
Hold
on
on.
Lollipop thumbnail.
Ah,
As much as I'd like to do
I'm
that.
trying to.
You gotta find it,
Oh,
though.
I'm trying
People
to
have to see
find
this.
He also looks like a baby on a diaper box.
No, I think this is a good point. I think this is a good point to wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold
Okay.
on. Google
It's a-
search Trey on Lollipop, and
Oh
I'll
my
end it.
God.
End it on
Just
that.
just for you, when we're editing, we can just flash a
We
picture of
can
it on
flash
screen.
the
You can find it
picture
after
of-
recording,
of
and
the
we
There's
will.
lollipop.
there's one of it in the jersey too. Oh my goodness. Here.
We'll discuss this later, guys. Thank you so much for
Trey
listening.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good time.
Yes, thank you for watching episode 2, and we will see you either at multiple times next week or just another review next week. It all depends. Thank you guys so much for listening. I've been Biam Sopa.
I've been Kalikid.
I've been Jordan. I can't wait for Bad Bunny versus Trey Young and Shane McMahon as special guest
Oh, for
referee.
fuck's sake.
Oh god.
God damn it.
Oh,
That's how we fucking end. God damn it.
All right.
Do the subscribing thing. Make this worth our time. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Goodbye.